Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You, Say It Back. It's a podcast. I Love You, Say It Back. Valentine's Day. Let's get funky. Not gonna lie. You know, when you host a podcast and it's called I Love You, Say It Back, Valentine's Day just feels like you got to put a little extra pep in your step, a little oomph in your boomf. Is that a thing? A little oomph in your boomf? Just if I should have acknowledged, I should have just rolled with it, then let you question if it's even a thing. What's up, y'all? My name is Vic D. Thank you so much for tuning in on a very special Valentine's Day edition of I Love You, Say It Back. Today is Thursday, February 12th, and boy, do we have some things to catch up on. You know, we're just coming back from our annual snowboarding trip. We do this every year. We've been doing it for, I don't know, somewhere around 10 years. We go for a Super Bowl weekend. We pick a ski resort, whether that's Lake Tahoe. This year it was Mammoth, Big Bear. We just pick one of those spots, take a little snowboarding trip, and we go snowboarding the morning of Super Bowl Sunday, and then get back to the house. We finish up around 2:30, which is perfect. We get out there early and then get back around 2:30, cook the food, game starts, watch the coin flip, lose lots of money on the coin flip, and then that's how you know you're off and running. You're off to have a great Super Bowl. This year, the Super Bowl was not great. The actual game was kind of boring. Not boring if you're a fan, but I understand that the Super Bowl attracts a lot more than like hardcore fans, right? Like it was even a little bit boring to us, but I understand it was boring because it was dominated defensively by the Seattle Seahawks. Brilliant game plan, all that, blah, blah, blah. But then, of course, the halftime show I thought was fantastic. I really was curious to tune into the other one. So, of course, I had to take a little peek in there. It was what it was. We're not here to get into that. I like this one better than this. I did look, listen. It was like, you know, when you peek out the window and you hear like dogs fighting or like kids, like you hear someone beating their wife and it's like, I told you, woman, and just like you got to peek. That's how I felt about tuning into the Turning Point thing. I was like, I just have to see what the hell's going on. But Bad Bunny, crazy. Internet's going crazy. A lot of life, a lot of seasoning on that halftime show, just a lot going on. But yeah, but just an awesome weekend altogether. These are, I talk about every year, two of my favorite weekends are Super Bowl snowboarding trip weekend and our fantasy football trip. Those are trips that I take with the boys, and we just, we'll pick different spots and fly out or go out there however we can. But lots of fun, exciting stuff to hit on. All right, let's get back to this Valentine's Day special. Got a lot to cover. It's funny. We normally get a lot of questions for Wednesday Wisdom, which is one of our top rated segments on the podcast. This week, a few extras. So we're probably going to do something a little bit different on social media and on the show because it wasn't just one question that we're doing this week. I think there was a few valid questions. So might do a little bit more of a rapid fire. We're going to hit on, I think we're going to do 4, maybe 5, depending on how much time we have left. But without further ado, want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, if you are not subscribed to the show already, please take a second to stop whatever you're doing. Hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any of the show. Help us keep up with everything going on. Help us grow. Rate it, subscribe, review it, do the stars, talk about it, all that good stuff. I can't tell you how much it helps, so really appreciate everyone who's already done it. And if you haven't, there's still time. It's okay. You got plenty of time to do it. So please jump over and do that. If you are not following us on our socials at ILY Say It Back Pod, we talked about it last episode. We're almost at 90 countries, 900 cities. It's kind of crazy to even say out loud, but thank you for everyone who's listening, wherever you're listening. Sacramento's big. Houston, Texas is big. Other countries, we're talking about 90 countries. Germany, for some reason, big. Love you. I wish I knew I should have looked up some German to say hi or something. Some Mexico's big. That one's understandable at least because I got family over there. But I don't know, just cool, crazy. I love you. Say it back. Let's continue to rock and roll it, and appreciate you wherever you're listening. Let's talk Valentine's Day because we got we finished up the Super Bowl weekend. Which, by the way, I do want to say this. I hope you enjoyed it, fellas. Did you know next year the Super Bowl Sunday lands on Valentine's Day? Yeah, what? Some choices are gonna have to be made. Super Bowl Sunday lands on February 14th next year. And I'm just going to say, good luck, good luck. Although I think you can make it work. I don't think it's going to be that bad because I think a lot of girls, even if they don't necessarily enjoy football every week, like a week-to-week watcher, you enjoy the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, there's a lot more that's involved than just the game, halftime show, food, just lots of exciting, some gambling, some bets, all that stuff. So I don't think it'll be that bad. I just think it's going to be funny to watch the narratives that are painted on social media, which they always do. But I think here's what I wanted to start with. Fellas, ladies, my single people, let me ask you that. Let me start this show. Let me start this podcast by asking you a question. And really think about this. Is this the best year to be single on Valentine's Day? Is this like one of the best years that it's been, at least in recent history? Vic, why would that be? Very simple. This year, I don't remember the last time this happened. Valentine's Day lands on a Saturday. Now, you may be thinking, oh, that's perfect because me and the wife are both off on Saturday and it's fantastic. Well, you got to think about this. It's going to be packed everywhere. It's going to be all this and that. And it's one of those things where a lot of people don't even celebrate Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day. They celebrate the day before, the day after, maybe the week before, maybe the week after, just because the buzz around all these little newbie couples are always trying to be like, yeah, babe, I'm going to take you out to this. And it's going to be all the day. Yeah, that happens the first year, maybe the second year, and then forget about it. You're lucky to get a little single rose and dinner, But I guess the point that I'm trying to get to is this year lands on a Saturday. So for single people, this is about as clear as it gets when it comes to going out, when it comes to having fun, finding a partner, hanging out, like wondering, some single people out there, when they go out, they automatically start looking for a ring. They're like, oh, does she have a ring? Does he have a ring? Are they married? Who are they with? Are they with a partner? Are they with someone? But then they're in the bathroom. No, this kind of thing filters out, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna be as easy pickings as what it is now. Approaching somebody and getting somebody, that's a different story. What I'm arguing is this is the easiest year to really shoot your shot. Again, often you're looking for a ring. Often you're looking for like, damn, is she with somebody and they're just in the restroom? Are they grabbing drinks while she's just sitting here? Can I This year's going to be easy. If they're out, they're single. And if they're not, that means you'll see them cupcaking. It'll be like me and you were celebrating a night out. They'll be inseparable. They'll be easy to identify. But I would say that 90 to 95, 96% of the people who are going to be out this weekend, single people. Fellas, ladies, if you see somebody out, you're wondering, hey, I wonder if they're in a situationship. I wonder if they got somebody. I wonder if they're married. Wonder no more. It's Valentine's Day. If they were with somebody, they'd either be right next to them or they wouldn't even be out. So that is my thing. I've been seeing these memes going around. The boys have been sending them in the group chats. They're like, hey, this is our game 7. This is our all-star game. This is where we go out and show out. This is where we ball till we fall. This is where we just let it all out. This is where all these pickup lines and all these things that you've been saving, there's no reason to save them anymore. This is your time. This is your time to shine. Get out there. Now get out there and be somebody. Congratulations, single people. This is the best year to finally go out and either meet someone, have fun with someone. If nothing else, you're going to be able to approach people left and right without worrying about like, damn, I wonder where I wonder if her man's getting a drink or I wonder if her man's in the bathroom. You ain't got to worry. If she had a man, she wouldn't be out or they'd be together. Single people are going to show out, man. I know Zama, you're going to have a day. Soul Lounge, you're going to have a day. Roosters, Honky Tonk, you're going to have a day. What's the other one? The Italian one. The downstairs basement. What is it? This is where I wish I had the boys with me today. Sandrini's, have a day. Roosters Cantina, have a day. All these places, have a day. Congratulations. If you have plans to go out this weekend, I'm not saying your success rate is going to be any different than any other weekend. All I'm saying is your risk rate is going to be a lot lower than any other weekend. So congratulations for that. So I made a list, right? I got a question for Wednesday Wisdom, and it was essentially this girl got asked out to a dinner for Valentine's Day. And she was essentially like, it was a Chili's like question. Now, before I tell you, she's like, is it a red flag that this man invited me to Chili's? One, if you know me, you know my answer. But two, I'll share that. But it inspired us to make a list of restaurant yes and no's. And I can't spend too much time on it because there's just too many restaurants, but I'm going to give you a restaurant and I'm going to tell you yes and I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to give you the restaurant. Just go down the list. We'll do that a little bit later because I want to do it with the question. So right now we're going to jump a little bit ahead. I was saving this story just because I wanted to touch back on this. A little bit different than the Valentine's Day story. I just thought this was an incredible story from the Super Bowl. Listen, I'm not going to talk about the actual football game. I'm not going to talk. But if you found out about this story, if you heard about this story, it's an incredible story. It's a Sam Darnold story. Vic, who's the Sam Darnold? I'm glad you asked. If you listen to our Sunday podcast, we touched on it lightly, but we didn't go all the way in deep. So he's the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, and you're thinking, congratulations, he just won. Great, awesome, fantastic, top of the world. But the only reason I want to talk about this is because a lot of you guys listening, I know my audience, you guys have kids. You guys have these stories, bedtime stories, these movies that you show to your kids. And I am of the belief that I think eventually Sam Darnold, there's going to be a movie, there's going to be like a book, there's going to be some kind of documentary that is made of his journey. And Sam Darnold was, if you're unfamiliar with his story, Sam Darnold was a very high draft pick. He was picked 3rd overall in the draft by very dysfunctional Jets. Bad franchise, bad team, haven't had any success with anybody. No coaches work there, no quarterbacks work there, blah, blah, blah. So he goes off to another team. He has like a couple good games and then eventually just kind of reverts to being horrible. He goes back. He's a backup. He loses his job, whatever. So then everybody starts like, okay, Sam Darnold, high draft pick, just another tale as old as time, just another story, just another story of a high draft pick who is a bust. He just wasn't who we thought we were. So then he goes to the San Francisco 49ers. Now, he doesn't go there for a starting job. Normally, high draft picks, they only want to start. They only want to be like, I want to be the top dog. This was, to me, his changing, like this changed his entire career. He said, you know what? And if you're familiar with the San Francisco, their coaching is incredible. Yeah, we hate on them. We talk about, but we never deny like the 49ers coaching staff is incredible. So he goes there to be a backup to a guy who is literally the draft pick, the last draft pick of the entire draft. So he's one of the top picks, the 3rd overall versus the literal last pick, and he goes to be his backup. You got to eat your ego. You got to eat your pride. You got to eat it. You got to put everything to the side and say, look, I'm coming here simply just to learn. I don't want to start. I'm not going to fight for like nothing. And that takes, I know it sounds simple. It sounds simple like to do, but it comes with a lot of pride. It comes with a lot of ego blows. It comes with a lot of humility that you have to have in order to make a choice to say like, I was one of the top picks. I'm talented. I'm more talented than this kid, but he's going to start over me. I'm just going to sit here and watch. I don't know if he did it for a year or 2 years. So he goes there, gets a starting opportunity with the Minnesota Vikings. Another great coach over there. Has an incredible season and was a runner-up for MVP, or like he was in the running for MVP. And all of a sudden the team says, nah, we don't want you either. Get out of here. So he's like, what the what the heck's going on? Last year, like a year ago, Seattle signs him. They kind of give him a pitch. He takes less money to be their starter. It's crazy. Long story short, you saw what happened on Sunday. He's hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. He is a champion, and this story is inspirational, I think, for kids to never give up, to be humble, to know that sometimes you need to take a step or two steps back so that you can keep going forward and continuing to believe in yourself, to continue to believe in your abilities, and be humble enough to be able to say, you know what, I'm not going to start for a couple of years. To me, that's so inspiring. And I'm not even crazy about the Seahawks or Sam Darnold or anything like that. I love this story. If I ever have kids, I'm gonna write my own damn book. I'm gonna tell them about this kind of stuff. I'm like, you know what? If you know who you are, if you believe in who you are, if you believe in your talent, you believe in your work ethic, and you're a good person to people, you're gonna get your chance. I think it's an incredible story. And I think the more you read, the more you look at it, a teammate has never said a bad thing. They love the guy, high character, and I think it's just awesome. So I just wanted to bring that up because I know it has nothing to do with Valentine's Day, but I think stories that have to do with character and inspiration, really, frankly, we'll always find a spot for right here on the podcast. Let's get into your fun facts. In case you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, these are our Valentine's Day edition. In case you didn't know, these are your fun facts. In case you didn't know, let's get it started. In case you didn't know, men spend nearly twice as much on Valentine's Day than women. In case you didn't know. In case you didn't know, more proposals happen on February 14th than any other day except Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. In case you didn't know, which, by the way, I feel weird about proposals on holidays. It just kind of feels weird, It's like February 4th, Valentine's, too obvious. Christmas, too obvious. Family, too obvious. But let's do something a little different. And finally tonight, in case you didn't know, Valentine's Day, XOXO, everybody uses it. We all kind of associate it with it. But did you know it comes from the Middle Ages? X was the signature of kiss, and then the O was the hugs added later. In case you didn't know. There you go. In case you didn't know. Yeah, what a great little couple of days that we've had here. You go from, speaking personally, we were in Mammoth this year. Some of the best, smoothest ride. Mammoth, fun story. Mammoth was the first time I ever went snowboarding was in Mammoth. I told the story last week on the podcast. I almost died. Of course, it was because a girl invited me out there, but I hadn't gone back since then. That was years and years and years ago. And I was like, you know what? We need to go back. And I almost had so much fun there that we just might make that our permanent destination for our Super Bowl weekend. Loved it. Fantastic. Smoothest riding, but also took some of the biggest spill. I think I took the biggest hit, fall that I've had in snowboarding. Normally you fall, you pop back up, you're fine. But this time I landed weird and I landed on my chest. It just knocked all the air out of me. I was just like, whoo. But then you just get back up and you're just like, all right, let's do it again. Let's get back on the ski lift. Let's get into, so since we do have a few Wednesday wisdom questions, I want to actually kind of get right into it because we're going to touch on a few of these. I want to get to that list, and let me pull up the questions right here. So we'll start with this one because this one's the one that inspired the list that we have. So here it is. This is from a young lady. She says, Vic, this man just asked me to go to Chili's for Valentine's Day. Please, why? Where did I go wrong? I like him a lot, but damn, is that all I'm worth? Is it a red flag? Please tell me something different before I drop him because no. I think this is hilarious. First of all, going to Chili's on your first date, going to Chili's on Valentine's Day, I think is totally acceptable. I think it plays. And I think it plays hard. I think it goes so hard. I think it is delicious. I think the vibes are absolutely immaculate at Chili's. You got the good deals, the triple dipper. Not that Valentine's Day is about deals necessarily, but you even got a little bit of a red theme. It's a loose vibe. I don't think there's anything wrong with going to Chili's on Valentine's Day. Applebee's, absolutely not. I can't explain the difference, but Applebee's and Chili's, two completely different places. Applebee's on Valentine's Day, totally acceptable. Actually preferable, honestly. Less crowds, a little bit more fun. Food's better. Applebee's, it seems like you're trying to be like it just, I again, can't explain it. Applebee's, no. Chili's, yes, absolutely okay. So then we started thinking about like a list. You're like, okay, what restaurants? Okay, yes, okay, no. So as we are heading into Valentine's Day, we put together a list. I'm just going to give you the name of the restaurant and yes or no. I'm not gonna break all of these down. Just some of them I can't explain further than just yes or no. Like you either get it or you don't. Olive Garden, yes, yes, absolutely. Olive Garden is okay for Valentine's Day. Cheesecake Factory. Listen, if you live in a place that has a Cheesecake Factory, I think it's fair game. I think you go down there, you just, you get dressed up if you want. Huge menu, lots of options, cool ambiance. Cheesecake Factory, yes. However, if you live in Bakersfield, California, and you drive from here to Fresno or LA or wherever has a Cheesecake Factory, if you're driving from a town that does not have a Cheesecake Factory to a town that does have a Cheesecake Factory for Valentine's Day, corny. No, don't do it. But if you live in a city that does have one, it's fine. PF Chang's, nope, can't explain it. BJ's, I don't think so either. Chili's, yes. Applebee's, no. Denny's, I mean, why did this even get brought up in the list? No. Dave & Buster's, no. And sure as hell not Bakersfield's. Yard House, no. Surprisingly, I like the ambiance and I love the vibe there and I love the food, but I don't think it's a good Valentine's Day spot. Here's one that's interesting, and I could kind of almost see it going both ways. Texas Roadhouse, no. However, Longhorn, the new restaurant, yes. In-N-Out, yes. This one I will only explain because I think it is a matter of there's a level of comfort and vibe that you get with In-N-Out. And I think it's almost like, hey, we're comfortable enough with each other. Like we have this little vibe and it's comfortable and it's almost more intimate in a way than trying to do like PF Chang's. PF Chang's feels like you're trying really hard and you just missed the assignment. You failed the assignment. You didn't understand it. But In-N-Out is like, we're cool. We're better than that. Here's a weird one. I think Chick-fil-A, like you buy someone Chick-fil-A, like send it to their office or something like for lunch. I think that totally plays. Chipotle, no. Again, it feels like if you're trying to do that and you just drop the ball, no. Chipotle, no. But yeah, so there's our list. It's one of those, like, if you get it, you fully understand what I'm saying. Can't explain it, but the biggest one there is Chili's is a yes and Applebee's is a no. Now, I put up a poll on my Instagram and I was like, hey, do you guys think it's okay to get Chili's for Valentine's Day? And I want to give you and read you those results. So it's been up for 4 hours. 73% of people say yes, it's totally okay to go to Chili's. 27% say that it's a no. I think Chili's is okay to go to for Valentine's Day. I truly do. I feel like I don't think it's really underselling. I think it's a little bit more lax, but I also understand that if you're whatever point you are in a relationship with someone, I don't think it's weird. So just to go back and answer her question, I think this guy really likes you. And I think he is showing almost like a level of maturity, like, hey, we can, almost like the In-N-Out argument, right? We don't need to go above and beyond to prove and be comfortable with each other. You don't have to get all dressed up and, be all uncomfortable on it. No. We're going to go to Chili's. We're going to get the margaritas. We're going to get the triple dipper, which, by the way, Chili's has a lot of 3 options, right? 3 for me, the triple dipper, the 3 quesos. Like, I'm not mad at it. I just noticed it. I was there on Friday. Fantastic. But yeah, I don't think it's a red flag. I do understand, however, if you feel like you want more, I think you should communicate that. Like, hey, why don't we try something a little bit different? I'm not mad at someone who thinks that they deserve more, I guess, is my final comment on that. If you feel like you deserve more, then I understand that. But I don't think he's trying to say this is what you're worth. I think he's saying this is where we are, and this is a damn good place to be. This is a really comfortable place to be. Let's move on to the next question. Again, we're going to do 4, so we're going to spend a little bit. This one was fun. Some of them are fun. Like this one. What's up, Vic D? Valentine's Day is on Saturday this year. I'm single, no plans, not lonely or anything. This thought just crossed my mind, and I was thinking of throwing some meat on the grill and inviting the boys over for a chill day. The single ones, of course, haha. Is it weird to ask them, with laughing emojis, is it weird to ask them? Is it weird to ask your boys to kick it on Valentine's Day for a barbecue? Hell no. This actually sounds kind of cool. I guess the only way it would be weird is if your boy has a girl or a fiance or a wife, and then you're like, hey, you wanna ditch the women and let's come get over here and watch the game. There's not even a game to watch this weekend. Brother, where are your bullets? But if let's face it, if you're not in a relationship, Valentine's Day and this Saturday don't mean nothing other than the bars are going to be full of single people. The clubs are going to be full of single people. Downtown's going to be full of single people. That might even be a great little place to start. You go out there, you get some food, you get your drinks going, you get a barbecue going. I think this is a fantastic idea. I don't know if I'd sell it to them as you boys want to put some meat on the grill, just slap a little meat around, huh? You boys want to come over and slap the meat around, huh? Steve, why don't you bring your meat and we'll put it on here? I'll put my meat on here. Hey, John, you want to put your meat on here? Yeah, you too, Preet. Bring your big old meat. Yeah, come on. Oh, man, invite Chris. He's got gigantic meat. Like, yeah, everybody brings their meat. We'll all, just kind of eat each other's meat. Like, I don't know if I'd sell it that way, but totally okay. This actually sounds like if you got room for one more, holler at me. But no, totally. It's funny to word it that way. I think it's hilarious, but no, I don't think it's weird. I think you're totally safe, pal. There was more to that Chili's question. She says, I love Chili's, by the way. I just don't like it for Valentine's Day, if that makes sense. Okay. Answer still stands. Okay, I'm going to skip to this one because I don't even know if I want to get to the last one. Okay, this one is actually interesting because I never even thought about this. But listen to this. Ladies, there's this popular, pardon me. Ladies, there's this popular trend that you guys are doing, and it's called Galentines Day. We're celebrating Galentine's Day. Galentines, it's a group of girls, usually in red silk pajamas with decorations and doing all these cute little drinks, and we're having someone host it, and we're going to be Galentine's Day. Popular, been popular for years. Nothing new. But I thought this was interesting. Listen to this. What's up, Vic? Help me settle this for me and my girl. These Galentine's dates are for single girls, right? My girl trying to go to one of these shits, but she got me in all caps. I'm going to post a question, by the way. You guys can go check it out on our socials. She keeps saying it's not just for single girls, but all I see is these girls out every weekend are the same ones doing these little bullshit parties, just making it all obvious that they're only with girls so dudes can be hitting them up. He said, fuck that. I don't want my girl doing that. Haha, what do you think? I always thought it was just for single girls. To be honest with you, I never thought about that. I never thought like, oh, Galentines are only for single. Is it? Like, is this news to me as well? I didn't know. I thought I seen all kinds of girls. Yeah, you see a lot of single girls doing it. But I never put two and two together that like, oh, my girl's trying to go to a Galentine's Day because she wants to get the attention from guys. Like, I never saw it or looked at it. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of a fascinating. I'm actually curious on this one. I almost want to defer to y'all. Maybe y'all can educate me, and this is for girls. Maybe girls can educate me on this. Are Galentine's days or dates or nights for single girls only? Is this news to me? I had no idea if it was. But I'm going to say no, I don't think it's just for single girls. Because, listen, like, I feel like if I had a girl, like, and she's like, yeah, we're getting together for you. Okay, like, that's just you and your friends getting together. I wouldn't look at it as, like, single girls getting together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never even considered or thought about that. But that's an interesting thing. So what I'm going to say is no, I don't think it's just for single girls. But in a weird way, I kind of see your point in the sense of, yeah, they're out here getting drinks. They're posting like, it's just girls tonight. No men are out here. But it's fascinating. No, I never thought about that. Galentine's days are just for girls. It's a great question, brother. It's a good question. It sounds like that relationship's kind of in a healthy place. It sounds like he's saying like, nah, fuck that. You're not going with them. And she's like, you're being stupid. This is not just for single girls, idiot. But they sound like they're in a good spot. So I'm going to say, I'm actually going to take her side. I don't think it's just for Galentine's girls. But I also will add that the activities that are happening while these Galentine's dates are going on also matter too. What are you doing? Are you just kicking it at someone's house and just vibing? Or is it just all about like, hey, this is our pregame to go out? Especially with this year being on a Saturday, it could be a little bit different. So, yeah, that was an interesting one. And then there's one more. We won't even do it, but I think it was hilarious. I want to read it to y'all. Just think about this. What's up, Vic? Valentine's question. I've been hanging out with someone for a few months, and Valentine's Day kind of came up a few weeks ago. We talked about going somewhere for dinner, maybe out of town or something, but the conversation ultimately ended up at just doing something at her place, which is awesome. She wants to cook for me. Awesome. But last time she cooked, it was awful, bro. She cooked the fuck out of the steak and dry ass chicken. Veggies weren't fully cooked. Just awful. Help me get out of this. This is hilarious. I feel like the effort is there. Clearly, I think you guys are going to be okay, but I think it is fun. How do you tell someone? How do you let someone down when they're like, yeah, you know what, baby? You know what? I'm going to do something special for you. I'm going to cook for you. And then they tell you all these things like this. I learned how to make this. This is our recipe handed down from our generation to generation. And this is our perfect, and you eat it and you're like, oh boy, that is not good. Yeah. So what you do here, this is actually kind of easy to get out of this. You surprise her, be like, babe, you think I'm going to let you cook for me on Valentine? You think you deserve to be in the kitchen standing, slaving away from me? No way, baby. I made us reservations at blank and blank. And you know what? You're going to get dressed up. And you know what? We're going to go out because I want to show you off. That's how you get out of it, brother. That's how you get it. And then once your conversation and relationship just kind of develops and goes further and further, then you can kind of sit down and be like, hey, babe, you know what? I like my chicken a little bit more like this. I like it with a little bit of juice. I don't like it to taste like cardboard. I like my meat a little bit more on the rare side. Instead of her just serving it to you and then being like, this isn't the way I like it. Avoid the conversation, surprise her, treat it like it's a treat for her. You think I was going to let you do that? Come on. Why would I got this gorgeous stack of pancakes. I want to show this off, baby. I'm taking you out to blank and blank, and I'm going to show you off. And you're not going to cook. You're not going to touch that kitchen on Valentine's Day. Not on my watch. No, sirree. That's how you do it. Come on, fellas. Think a little. That was an easy one. Let's go ahead and wrap up this Valentine's Day special with a Valentine's Day question. I'm so glad that you guys are joining us. Whatever it is you got planned this weekend, lots of content is going to be coming up for this episode, especially as, Valentine's Day this Saturday. So here we go. A little late night trivia. 20% of women would rather receive this instead of flowers on Valentine's Day. What is it? Nearly 20% of women say they would rather receive this instead of flowers on Valentine's Day. What is it? Real quick, while you're thinking about it, I've been sleeping like crap. I got probably the worst sleep of my life over the weekend. And then last night I was like, oh, well, I slept so crappy, I'm going to be able to sleep. No, it's been bad. We'll be out at the Hard Rock tomorrow too. Nearly 20% of women would rather receive this instead of flowers. A car wash, like a car detail. There you go. If you're thinking about a good gift, getting her car detailed, absolutely fantastic. I wish you, your partner, your lover, your friends, anybody listening, a very happy Valentine's Day. I love you. Say it back. Don't ever forget. I love you always, forever. Be sure to check us out on our socials at ILY Say It Back Pod. I'm going to be out at the Hard Rock Casino tomorrow giving away gold. An ounce of gold right now is about $5,000. And we're giving that away. Like, we gave away the coin. It was so cool just to hold it. It was dope. Going to be out there tomorrow. I hope to see you there. If not, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I love you. Say it back. Have a great Valentine's Day. Shout out Seattle Seahawks fans. Subscribe, everything. I love you. Say it back. Good night, y'all.